If he wants to, I'll brand risk it.
No, you won't.
No, I 100%.
Mr. Beast's latest video just set off a huge drama between xQc and DDG, and things are escalating pretty badly quick. From the moment that video went public, xQc and DDG's beef just escalated a lot. And this wasn't random either. The whole thing connects to what happened leading up to filming, what went down while cameras were rolling, and even stuff that popped off once production ended. Rewind a bit. Couple weeks back, you could already feel the tension starting to build up because people wouldn't stop running their mouths about this whole xQc and DDG thing that allegedly happened on the Mr. Beast set. The internet absolutely lost it when word got out that xQc supposedly looked DDG dead in the eye and said his music was garbage. Like, no hesitation, just straight disrespect. That story by itself had everyone glued to their screens since it apparently led to some quick shots being fired between them right there during filming. The vibe in that room must have been uncomfortable as hell. But yo, plot twist came when DDG actually stepped up and said, nah, that's cap. He came out addressing those claims directly, explaining that's not really what happened, which honestly just made the whole situation more confusing for everybody watching.
If he said, no, he didn't say nothing to my face. Stop lying now. Video would have been over. Don't lie. With nothing to my face. Neon, quit lying, bro.
That whole beef between them created genuine friction, and they weren't being subtle about it whatsoever. Both of them spent days trading verbal shots, letting everything out with zero filter. Eventually, though, the heat died down and folks gradually moved on from it. The drama basically disappeared from everyone's timeline. The whole thing ended with DDG basically explaining that if he put hands on xQc, that would only backfire on him. Plus, there was always the possibility of xQc hitting him with a lawsuit. Can't even argue with that logic. That's just smart thinking. Once that conversation wrapped, everything went dead silent. The subliminal posts stopped, the indirect comments stopped, all of it just vanished. xQc wasn't bringing up DDG's name anymore, and DDG returned the favor. That's how it remained for weeks straight, just complete radio silence, right up until the actual Mr. Beast video finally released. The second that content went public though, things got spicy all over again. And we're not talking about beef with just one creator this time. You could watch xQc catching smoke with several different people in real time. If you've ever actually tuned into his streams or know his personality at all, you already understand he's not built to bite his tongue when something bothers him. Dude genuinely represents that old school streaming culture where everyone would talk reckless to each other without a second thought, then act like it was all jokes afterward. That was just the norm back in those days. Times changed though. Today's streaming scene operates on completely different rules. A lot of these newer content creators aren't willing to tolerate that same disrespectful energy anymore. You can label it however you want. Say people are being too sensitive or whatever, but facts are facts. When someone feels like they're getting disrespected, their reaction is their own, and you can't dictate how they handle it. Everyone's got their own approach to conflict. That's just reality. Throughout this whole video, xQc wasn't holding anything back whatsoever. He started firing shots at Aiden and DDG, flat out saying they were viewbotting, which is a heavy accusation to throw out publicly like that. That type of call-out immediately put everyone on alert, and you could tell the situation was about to spiral real quick.
Dang! You fell off anyway, nobody cares, buddy!
Hey, now we really finna get you up.
xQc had something to say to the streamer.
Nobody wants an AMP! Your music is trash, buddy!
You're going home!
Nobody wants an AMP! And look, I'm an AMP viewer!
Real talk, I don't know if you've been paying attention to xQc's moves lately, maybe the last year or so, but accusing people of fake views has basically turned into his signature move at this point. He's been pointing fingers at everyone, slapping that viewbot accusation on various creators like he's handing out flyers. The Clover Boys caught it, Aiden caught it, and yep, DDG got hit with it too. That's honestly the foundation of why he's got beef brewing with all these different circles right now. The crazy part? Dude isn't pumping the brakes on any of it. He's doubling down on every claim with zero hesitation. Now look, in today's climate, everybody questions metrics and growth patterns. That's just where we're at. There definitely are creators out there getting accused of pumping their numbers artificially, even though nobody's actually admitting to that publicly. But xQc positioning himself as some kind of industry whistleblower? That strategy isn't paying off for him at all. If anything, it's backfiring hard and dragging him into even messier situations. This is where things escalated to another level though, because Chris next door, who was also in that MrBeast collaboration, decided to address everything during a live broadcast. His take on xQc was pretty revealing, and honestly, it just poured more gasoline on a fire that was already out of control.
Bro, xQc was talking crazy, bro. I mean, like, deadass. I got pause to this, gang. Cause, like, bro, I was going to the bathroom, I saw xQc. He said, yo, what's up? Yo, what's up? How you doing? Like, oh, what's up? Walk past. We ate, like, lunch. They had MrBeast food. That shit was asses. xQc was sitting right next to me enjoying his lunch. And matter of fact, it was a seat open, and he sat next to me.
When Chris next door hopped on stream to share his perspective, he came with no filter whatsoever. His honest reaction immediately caught everyone's attention. You could sense he wasn't vibing with how xQc was moving, particularly all those viewbot claims getting tossed around during such a massive collaboration. Chris broke it down on his broadcast, explaining how throwing those kinds of accusations at people, especially during a project that big, doesn't just look disrespectful, but also creates unnecessary drama for everyone who was part of it. His point was that even if you suspect something's not adding up, calling it out like that to millions of viewers might not be the play. The interesting thing about his response was how composed he stayed while still being straightforward. He wasn't screaming or getting emotional, just delivering his thoughts in a way that felt more impactful because of how genuine it came across. That whole response got people buzzing, even harder. The conversation stopped being about the actual MrBeast video and became all about xQc and the chaos he was stirring up. But this was just scratching the surface of xQc's problems, because the situation jumped to a whole different level when DDG went live to address it himself. That's the moment everything took a more serious turn, and the beef started feeling genuinely personal. While streaming, DDG unpacked everything xQc had been throwing out there, and it was obvious he wasn't brushing anything off. At a certain point, he even mentioned wanting to square up with xQc face-to-face over the disrespect, which had everybody glued to their screens instantly. That single comment transformed this from typical internet drama into something that felt like it could actually pop off in real life. Everyone was now watching to see how this would unfold.
Final thoughts on the MrBeast video. As you do know, I got eliminated. You probably already watched it. xQc, you's a hoe, you always gonna be a hoe. If we wasn't on camera, I would've swung on you. Of course, I would never, ever whoop xQc ass on no type of MrBeast set, ever. Very professional. We better watch him out next time, xQc.
Look, you're probably wondering if xQc's comments actually warranted all this smoke. Like, was it really worth all the drama? Here's where it gets interesting though, because word on the street is MrBeast allegedly edited out a ton of confrontational moments and heated exchanges before the final upload. And when you think about it, that tracks perfectly. MrBeast isn't going to leave a bunch of arguments and controversial content in his videos when that could blow up into negative publicity. That's just not his brand strategy. But the internet's been saying what made the final cut was barely scratching the surface of what really happened during filming. And apparently, things got way more confrontational when cameras were rolling. That context actually helps explain why DDG even mentioned wanting to throw hands to begin with. If the situation genuinely escalated that much, his reaction starts clicking into place. Honestly, my first impression was that DDG seemed like he was half joking, just talking spicy in the moment. But once those clips started making rounds across Twitter, the whole vibe changed dramatically. This was happening right when xQc was on stream with Aiden Ross, and they had some UFC fighters plus Neon in the mix too, so the atmosphere was already pretty charged. Then Aiden just randomly decides to play the clip right there during the broadcast, basically forcing xQc to respond in front of their entire audience. This exact moment is where everything started crumbling for xQc, because how he handled it only buried him deeper into a mess he couldn't talk his way out of.
But on his side, he talks all the time about me, whatever. But why though? I don't get it. And also, bro, we're doing a MrBeast video. Like, why is he so pressed? I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't understand on business. Like, bro, it's a game. It's a whatever. Like, over there, they were so angry. Like, I was like, why are you so angry? I didn't know there was anything about like fight. I don't know why he brought fighting into this, but if he wants to, I'll Brenner's good.
No, you won't.
No, I 100%.
You won't fight DDG.
As long as he puts enough money where it matters to him, a piece of his own net worth, or I'll put a piece in. I'll fight him.
On Brenner.
I will fight him 100%.
On brand risk.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
If he wants to fight, I'll fight him.
How long would you want to train?
6 months.
Okay. Well,
3 months.
Would you want to go MMA or boxing?
MMA.
The second that clip started playing during the stream, the whole energy in that room completely flipped. Dead silence hit for a moment, everyone locked in on xQc, waiting to see how he'd react. His initial move was trying to play it cool, acting like the whole thing wasn't worth stressing over. But viewers could definitely sense the mounting pressure. Aiden wasn't about to drop it though. He kept circling back to the topic, hitting him with questions that made everything feel even more uncomfortable. Having actual UFC fighters present just amplified the intensity beyond what you'd normally see on a regular broadcast. xQc jumped into defense mode, claiming everyone was twisting his words and missing the full picture. But every word he said seemed to make his situation worse instead of better. The chat was absolutely losing it. People were already screen recording and posting clips everywhere, and you could watch this thing snowball in real time. Here's the wild part though. xQc actually said yes to fighting DDG. That decision alone seems questionable at best. He did throw in a stipulation though, saying it would only happen if DDG wagered a massive chunk of his entire net worth. He probably figured there's zero chance DDG would accept terms that crazy. But this is where xQc might have miscalculated badly, because DDG's been in the boxing world for a minute now. Dude's put in serious training over the years and actually competed in influencer boxing matches before. This isn't new territory for him whatsoever. So if xQc assumed DDG would get cold feet or second guess himself, that was probably a major miscalculation. Because DDG instantly accepted the challenge. He even stayed down when MMA got brought into the conversation. That quick acceptance speaks volumes. And now, this whole thing feels less like internet beef and more like something that might actually go down.
I've been waiting, praying. I'm like, bro, I want to get back in the ring. Get back in the ring. I'm praying. My prayers got answered this morning. Praying works. xQc, I'm 1000% with it. But I'm not putting up my money. I want to get paid. It ain't finna be no, you put in this money and this, No, Aiden, you gonna have to pay for that. I'm 100% with it.
xQc chose MMA, thinking he had some master plan, like he could somehow wrestle DDG down and slap on a submission hold in the first 30 seconds. His whole game plan seemed to be catching him off guard and wrapping things up before they really got going. But that's wishful thinking at best, because DDG's not about to play the victim role and wait around to get grabbed. He'd probably start landing punches way before xQc could even close the distance. But yo, the chaos didn't just stop after that conversation. Nah, this whole mess carried over to the next day, and that's when xQc's behavior started raising some serious red flags. Even though he'd already committed to fighting with that whole net worth percentage condition, he decided to go live again and flip the script entirely. Now, he's out here saying the only way this happens is if DDG puts up a straight $1 million cash. And look, everybody watching picked up on the pattern real quick. When you see someone randomly stacking these extreme money conditions out of nowhere, demanding $1 million for this or requiring massive payments for that, it's pretty transparent what's actually going on. They're not genuinely interested in making it happen. The real goal is hoping the other side gets cold feet or the entire thing just collapses on its own. Except DDG wasn't playing that game at all, because once again, he immediately said that. No questions, no hesitation, just straight acceptance. By now, it's painfully clear that xQc's entire approach is blowing up in his face. Nothing's going according to whatever plan he thought he had.
He said he ain't gonna put up an M. I put one up. However you want it. Cash, crypto, however you want it, man. One condition though. I gotta be able to have this option, bro, because I ain't finna keep playing by your rules. I want a box. At minimum, you got me doing MMA and putting up an M, and I said no to both of them.
Yeah, I feel like you put up the M, y'all got a box.
Yeah.
You know?
We box. We me and you box. Put up an M apiece. M ain't nothing to you, xQc, you got it, right?
Bullshit.
This is the part where xQc basically trapped himself with no clear exit strategy. You could give him 12 straight months of training camps and sparring sessions, and it's still tough to imagine a scenario where he's actually winning against DDG in any kind of combat situation. All these additional requirements he keeps throwing out there, trying to pump the brakes or shift the agreement around, aren't doing what he probably hopes they're doing. DDG literally meets every single demand. The financial part? Not an issue for him. Actual combat training and ring time? He's got that covered too. Plus, regardless of how this shakes out, it's setting up to be a massive content moment that works in his favor no matter what. The thing is, DDG doesn't even seem particularly eager to actually scrap like that. He's mentioned during his streams that this isn't something he's actively pursuing. But here's the problem. When somebody like xQc calls you out in front of everyone online, you can't just decline without consequences. The second you say nah, people immediately start running with the narrative that you're avoiding the smoke. And that reputation spreads like wildfire in the content creator space. That's the exact predicament DDG's dealing with right now. It's not really about actually wanting the confrontation, it's about avoiding the optics of looking like he folded under pressure. Being completely honest though, will this fight actually materialize? Doesn't seem probable whatsoever. The whole thing feels destined to get drawn out indefinitely, and when everything's said and done, wouldn't be shocking at all if xQc discovers some convenient excuse to back out before anything official gets signed.